Hi, this is Ken Peters at Polidecode. As we face a world where the terror news has become regular daily programming, what everyone in America wants is a strong president. So Republican frontrunner Donald Trump and his worldview is critical to not only us, but to the whole world. So before the policies are set in stone, let's try to decode the possible consequences of Mr. Trump's foreign policies. Number one, boycott Saudi Arabian oil. Mr. Trump has suggested that we should boycott oil if Saudi Arabia refuses to send ground troops to fight ISIS. Let's see how great an idea that is. You may not know it, but Saudi Arabia has the world's largest petroleum reserves. And although it is a member of OPEC, for many, many years, Saudi Arabia has acted very much so in America's best interest. And with tons and tons of oil money the country has, it has only 16 million citizens. And don't forget that Saudi women are not allowed to drive cars. They can't go to work, school, and banks without their guardians. So, sending their men to fight? What a great idea. Imagine you are a Saudi citizen. The government is pretty much paying for everything. Why do you want to risk fighting ISIS? ISIS did not attack Saudi. ISIS are mostly Sunni Muslim, and Saudi is not even close to a fighting zone. Why send Saudi men? Is it because the Saudis have money? So we can threaten them with a boycott? That doesn't sound too nice, does it? And now imagine an America without the Saudi oil. So who will benefit? The Russians, the United States, and Saudi Arabia are the top 3 oil-producing countries. If we're not buying from the Saudis, we can get our oil from the Russians, right? Would that be great for their economy? Remember the last oil embargo? Prices went sky high. And guess who will suffer? Yeah, you and me. The second discussion is Mr. Trump's belief of NATO being an anachronism.
We're the ones putting up a lot of the money for NATO, disproportionately, a lot. Right. Now, we put up a lot of the money for a lot of countries. You know, we defend South Korea, we defend Saudi Arabia, we defend Japan, we defend Germany.
I have to agree that NATO changed after the collapse of the Berlin Wall in 1985. I believe in 2010 we spent about $850 million in NATO operations. And in 2014, only the USA and Estonia spent the required 2% of GDP in their defense budgets. One thing that bothers me, and that is the pledge that if one NATO country is under attack, then all NATO countries should team up and fight back. Think about that. With so many Eastern European countries joining NATO and Turkey's seemingly self-serving refugee and foreign policies, being tied up in the agreement doesn't sound too smart. But how to do it without offending our longtime friends is the key. Reducing USA presence in Europe may be a better idea, or we can stop giving expensive weapons away versus having other countries pay for it, right? Just remember, we probably should not count on their help if we ever need it. Topic 3 is the economic warfare to halt China's territorial moves in the South China Sea. It is troubled waters with territorial claims from China, Taiwan, Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Cambodia, Thailand, and Singapore. Actually, there is only one island in the whole area with a freshwater well, which is occupied by Taiwan and with soldiers for the last 60 years. All the rest are mostly rocks that sometimes are even below seawater. So why do we want to single out China's move? Most will say it is because China now builds man-made islands. But the Philippines and Vietnam have done that also. Even Japan has built something like that from a rock the size of your sofa, and then stated territorial claims over an area bigger than Japan. So why do we want to get nasty over that with China? And if we do declare economic warfare with China, the U.S. consumer will no longer enjoy the super cheap Chinese imports, but the other part of the world may. And don't forget the billions and billions of treasury bonds China holds. I guarantee you that will not be pretty. Next one, and probably the most dangerous one, is to consider his nuclear doctrine.
The enemy is watching, and I have a very good chance of winning, and I frankly don't want the enemy to know how I'm thinking.
Understood.
But with that being said, I don't rule out anything. I would say definitely nuclear weapons are a last resort.
Mr. Trump brought up the idea about letting South Korea and Japan acquire their own atomic arsenals. Let's think for a minute. Japan killed about 6 million Chinese during World War II, and it killed over 10 million people and probably caused the death of about another 15 million people indirectly. Please remember that was done without weapons of mass destruction. And Mr. Trump wants them to join the nuclear club. Kim Jong-un of North Korea is the axis of evil. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he usually points those missiles towards Japan, not against his South Korean countrymen. So telling South Korea to develop nuclear weapons to fight the people in North Korea, another great idea? One can argue that India and Pakistan have kept relative peace after both developed nuclear weapons in about 1986. But a crazy leader with a nuclear bomb in his hand can start a doomsday war and take us all down. And a crazy leader like the one who said he won't rule out using nuclear weapons. Thank you for watching Polidecode, and please subscribe to our channel.